I see sometimes journalists on the job reporting and having their bags, you know, carrying their bags. How can you be comfortable? You are interviewing, you are asking people questions, you are running after people, and immediately you do that. Some people will not hear what you are saying. Some people will feel that maybe you don't know what to do. So this is a beautiful morning where we want all of us to be families and then we talk as families. So every Wednesday we have this meeting where we talk to staff, train them on some of the things that they should do. So please, all of you guys, whenever you are going for any coverage, I don't mean inside the office, but any coverage, make sure you leave your bag in the office. Because few days ago, I watched one of the coverages. I saw somebody, but that's an intern and obviously a new person. So when you are new, you end up doing certain things that you don't know. So it is our responsibility to tell you what to do and what not to do. So like I said, this is family. And as family, we all communicate. So please do not take your bag when going to COVID because it will not be comfortable. Because when you take your bag, if you are to interview somebody, that particular person obviously has a bag. So you are interviewing some of us when we interview, we rush to people. Some of us when we interview, we have to go hold our mic, start rushing. But because you have your bag, especially these checker bags, you have to hold it karap, like Mickey Mouse. Huh? So I don't expect Gambian talents journalists to do that. So the other thing is whenever you are doing anything in life, not only journalism, one needs to know what you're doing. If you are going to report on deportation, you have to research, and you research very well. You don't have to only go because you are just going. No, you are going. For instance, let's say you are going to President Adam Barrow. He is going to give out charity for the Ramadan. No, when did the president start doing this? Is this a norm? Is this what the president have been doing every time? Or is this his first time? So not only when you go there and then you start asking, "Ano ba ba kaya ka start there?" Nakala ko defe. No, before you go, ask for all of these things. Even research to the extent of if this has been a norm at the state house. Every president that have been there, are they always doing this? Were they doing this? What is the motive behind this? This is some of the things I expect everybody to do. And not only for the presidency. If you have a personal show, you are going for your own personal thing. If you can hold on with your camera, your filming until the other program, okay? So that we can flip button. So all of these things you have to know it. And like Mr. New will say, people cannot train you and train you how to be creative. Creative is in you. And everybody should make sure they do their shows and they do it right. You understand? So wherever you are going and whenever you to have show, don't wait until that day and say, okay, I'm going to research. I want to research. Let me research. Because it might happen that the internet connection might be bad. It might happen that maybe that particular day the laptop gets spoiled. It might happen that that particular day that you want to do A, B, or C, that particular day maybe you want to even do that and the internet is bad or your laptop is bad or you yourself you are not also feeling good. The best person that you cite Ali is the best person that gets the interview more than anybody. And all the time, when I watch YouTube, when I watch Facebook, and I see people commenting on Gambian Talent's posts, more especially when we go out for, what is it called? Press conference. Some people say, "Hana Gambian Talent journalist, because other people do not ask questions. I'm not going to talk about other people, but I'm going to talk about us an institution, what we do. Before anybody goes to coverage, especially its press conference, like last week, Lloyd Harbour was having press conference. I said to Jalo and I said to, what's her name? Colleen were at the press conference. They both research. Though we know the press conference late, but they all research pertaining to what you do. And whenever you meet any of these high profile people, the Halifa Salas, the Mai Fatis, the lawyer Usain Dabo, the Adam Barros, the other people, don't only interview them based on what they want to talk about. Let's say, for instance, they want to talk about drug in the Gambia and they call for press conference. Some of us, we would never see these people. Some of us, if we tell these people we want to interview them, they will never accept us to interview them. When you have opportunity, because they invite you, some of them will even tell you, man, I didn't call you for that. Some of them, honestly, they're very arrogant. And as a journalist, you should have a thick skin. Somebody rushing you or telling you certain thing or using words against you should not make you feel bad. It's your work. And if you're doing the work, I remember I asked my party a question. I told him, we all know when you were working at the Ministry of Interior as the minister, you never criticized government. Now that you are no more at the Adama Barrow's government, now you are the number one person to criticize government. And he was like, yo, Kanjafi, kan mola ham. When did you start journalism? Maybe you were not even in the country. And other colleague journalists start laughing. And somebody very, very big when it comes to the media fraternity told me, Fatu, honestly, your question for my Fatu was the catch. If the person is saying what he thinks, I will say yes. If he also feels that the question was not good, but we all know he was not against the government. And anybody that is in the government, they all support the government. So as journalists, you should not be afraid of your question. And my father is saying that should not mean that you should not go ahead to ask other questions. You should not feel downgraded by somebody asking A or B. So whenever you are going for press conference, you have to recite. Because when you recite, nobody pulls you down. Because even if they answer you wrong or tell you should not ask question A or B, other people watch it, they will be like, you ask the best question. And that is what happens. When you go to the comment section, people were like, this is the best question. It's true, you have never contributed. You have never against the government. Right or wrong? So we all have to pay attention to this. And the other thing I want to talk about is, as journalists all the time, be prepared. Dress code matters a lot. If you want people to respect you wherever you are going, and I always say this, you don't need to wear Gessler. You don't need to wear designer. You don't need to wear Michael Kors. You don't need to wear whatsoever is the brand name. It is you that is going to interview. Your dress code might cost $. At the Fogajai, you can go. Me personally, I go to the Fogajai. I buy clothes 5, 10, 25, whatsoever. So the same thing applies with all of us here. Your dress code is you. Make sure your dress code is clean. Make sure if you wear your slides, like Yusuf and Noor, I want you to start. And I want us to look at Yusuf and Noor and you judge Yusuf and Noor, okay? So camera person, and really mind to help us with the farm. So here is Yusuf. Yusuf, come closer so that everybody can see you. And the cameraman will also zoom you so that we can, okay, leave it till later. So cameraman, look at Yusufa. Though Yusufa is having his hair, it's not cut, but it's very civilized, right? Yeah. You see, very neat. And some people don't want to cut their hair because they want to have the maybe Halifa Saleh style or whoever style. You see him with his mustache and everything. Cool. Very neat. You see his long sleeve. Maybe this is from Fogajai or wherever, or maybe it's even a brand name or whatsoever. But it's well ironed, isn't it? Look at his jean or trouser. Very well, very neat. Look at his shoes. And look at his what together with his belt.
Very, very excellent.
This is what Gambian talents always want. And for me personally, whenever I am going to coverage and I want to go with anybody, I looked at the person and I said, let's go. So Yusufa Noor and his dress code, Sebo. Thank you, Yusufa. And I want to Okay. So let us now have Ibu Sanya. Ibu, come. So Gambian talents, honestly, everybody here is a sample. So here is Ibu Sanya as a videographer. Ibu with his good shirt, Ibu's hair is cut, Ibu has his good trouser, and also his shoes are neat. And I believe it's not also smelling. As you can see, it's very, very clean. And no, the shoes is not black, but it's very, very clean. So Ibu can go anywhere. Ibu, thank you. So I think we can also use the lady as a sample, and let's just go with Sisao. Sisao, you can stand. So do you have coverage, Sisao, today?
No, I don't have any coverage.
Okay, so Sisao don't have coverage, but still she does a fine. So you see her, she's Ibadu or semi Ibadu today, maybe because of the Ramadan. So she have a color. Some people, some women or some girls, their colors smell very bad, more especially journalists. And I always say this, a diamond talents me train people. It's not that I have the nice color, but the color should do was very well. Because since I was sitting next to me, and me personally, if the color is smelling, honestly, I would tell her, since you would not go for coverages. Because when you want to interview somebody, they look at all of this, right? So look at Sisawa and her dress code. What is this? Her color, right? Bill. Her shoes is nice. And everything matches. Look at her shoes. From head to toe is good. Now let's just have something different from what Sisawa wear. Thank you, Sisawa. Zainab, please come. So Zainab is wearing African. And today is not Friday. So some people believe that whenever it's Friday, people should wear African. No, no. People wear what they want to wear. That is you. So Zainabu and her outfit, very beautiful and whatsoever. She can go like this to the state house. She can go like this to the airport. She can go like this anywhere. But let it just be this year. Thank you. So cameraman, I want you to just move and then we see our people as an institution. Everybody here looks very, 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 very perfect. And I am proud of everybody. Just move your camera and then we see our people. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to say is not every media house or institution in Gambia have this time to talk to you about your dress code, to talk to you about the way you should do things. And slippers at Gambian and we say no to it. Slippers is meant for home. At work, you either wear your boots or you wear your full shoe or you wear your sandals or you wear your whatever shoe it is. Maybe Fridays, I would accept you wear your chama and all the others. Because the last time we went to the state house and I believe one of the state house people called somebody from a media house and said, you dress up very bad. And it's true. The person feels very bad. How can one go to the president's office with a t-shirt, with a chara, even if you're not supporting the president? You are supporting yourself because that is the highest office. I've seen journalists or media personnel or cameramen going to the National Assembly with cards and the speaker ordered the orderly to tell the person to go out with the card. Cards are meant for parties. And I always say this, see Sawa anytime coming to the office and come with her Rats jeep, I never tell her anything. Because I know personally for her, her shows are always entertainment. Since I will not go and interview Adam Barrow and take rats. She will never interview, what is it called, Ahmad Ba or Halifa Salah or Sibia Jata or Mai Fati or Lawyer Dabo and wear rats. But if you are going for entertainment, we expect all of those things. So at Gambling Talent, we want you to be trendsetters. At Gambling Talent, we want you to be individuals that people respect. And today the minister will be here. For those watching our channel, we are having our daily meetings that we do every Wednesday. But because the minister is coming today, so we have to change the meeting to Thursday so that we can have it once. So the other thing I want to talk about is the issue of consistency. When we say consistency means for people to know that they have shows and every show has a day and a time. So many people in the diaspora, they're very boring. You know why? Not because they don't have anything to do, but because they are always working. Very, very hard working individuals are in the diaspora. They have no time for anything, only the social media so that they can know what is happening in Gambia. So some of you that have your shows, today you bring your show, tomorrow you don't bring your show, the next tomorrow you don't bring it. The show is not your show. is Gambian talent show. And at the end of the day, we give out prizes. I think some of you have won prize. Who is here that have won prize before? Ibu, Sanya, I said to colleague. Amidiba, okay. What is your name? Tisam. All right. Ibu Keta. Oh, okay. So you see, all of these people have won prize on their various shows or their various things that they do. So people that are in the diaspora, some of them are very happy with your work. You might be a fuller and you're doing fuller show. Will believe they high. Pulling a company theater. I have been problem. I will not do it good. What they have it is good. No. You are doing this show for your future. You never know. 10 years to come, 5 years to come, you will become the biggest journalist in the Gambia. Who say Pausman will have been a very big journalist in the country? Who say other people will have been a very good names in the country? So it all started the first very day you started your career. Some of us as interns, as staff, we feel that now we're big, we're not going to do work for. We're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. But I'm going to bring a prize for the best person that do the work for very right. Starting next prize giving that we're doing, and that will be certificates. So some of us believe that not gonna get down the one that works for. Some of us believe that if I go, this one is too much. Some of them believe if I go out, people are always many, they would look at me. I want to have guests in the studio. For me personally, I believe that studio is not the best place to do shows. Shows go and meet people at their own setting. Interview them while they are in their own setting. Know what they are doing in their own setting. Imagine you are interviewing the mechanician and you bring the mechanician in the studio. What can the mechanic show you? Nothing. It will not be as inspiration as if you go to the mechanic store or the mechanic shop and meet the mechanician doing and changing the part and you have one of the customers stop and say, hey bro, you have to have mechanic. Or say it in Monday. And then you see, you have interview already there with that particular person. And you are not only changing the life of that mechanic, but even the people watch it. So many people have stores or have cars that get spoiled, and they would be inspired by that mechanic to make it for them. I remember Dovi Robi coming here in the office through Isaac Koli. He's now working in the office. Mariam Chan yesterday received a check from Gambian Talent through Gambian Talent, through Isaac Koli's show after being interviewed. So I want each and every one of you who choose to be like that. And the other thing is, do not be afraid to call anybody for interview to approach them. I don't say I am the best person when it comes to approaching people, but I can always help you to call your guests and convince them. I remember when we went to the airport, we saw the Minister of Finance, and he was having his mask, I think a black mask, and with also with his those how do they call it? Hat. Um, Can't remember the same bahana yun, fell hat. So you would not imagine not fell hat, J5. You would not imagine the minister with a J5. I saw him and I went straight to him and I said, Honorable Minister. And he was like, honestly, I have never thought that nobody will recognize me. And how do you know it is me? I said, Mama, I'm going to get on everybody. With no uplink, with nobody with him, he was just with his suitcase. So, as journalists, all the time, you should always be watching the internet. You should be watching the newspaper, and also your colleagues what they are doing to learn from them. They are not your competitors; they are your colleagues. That's what I believe. If you look at your colleague in another media house, hi, T, media house, definitely, you will never do it right because you are jealous of him or her. He might be able to do something, and you might be able to do something. So learn from what he is doing and build yourself. Then you will know more than him. And that's what I expect. So as journalists all the time, wherever you go, whenever there is program or there is function, make sure you go next to the person, what social media, what other televisions, and see what they're doing. See the people that matter so that you can recognize them. Because if you interview Anybody like Father Sama that nobody knows, who will watch the interview? And you see the finance minister and you pass the person, what will you do? And we end up interviewing him and asking him about the budget. And I remember he said he went for a visit. One of his daughters graduated at the university, so he was there just to do that. And I remember immediately after the interview, my camera woman Aida told me, "May bukod nga latte ko, lutang mo muy dem di fekk di doomam America, muy graduate, te ñun fi Gambia, amul sa scholarship, amul dara ñu ngi graduate fi, lutang ñu doomam jàngee Gambia." So things like that, people start to recognize you. That minister, anywhere he sit, he will remember there is this general that asks me tough questions. We're not here to babysit anybody. Questions should always be right. But in Gambia, journalists are always, some journalists are always afraid. I quote some, not all. There are some that ask good questions. Some people, even our colleagues, will tell you, why do you ask questions like this? Because I remember Banky, the Rasta guy that wanted to become, what is it called? President. I told him, he said, I went to Marina International, I work at MRC, I have this degree, I do this, I am the only child of my mom, I do this. You tell us all of those things, and we don't know whether you are married, we don't know whether you have child, we don't know who we are dealing with. And some people, college journalists say, that is very foolish question. You don't have to ask somebody how many child does the person have, is he married? And all of you went and then wrote that as your caption. Anybody that want to be president, we want you to be the state president. You are going to be all of us our boss. We should know whether you are responsible. Do we want a president that will take girlfriends in the state house? So if us as journalists cannot ask that, who will ask those questions? So please do not be afraid, and nobody outside should determine what your media house style is. Your media house is your media house. Your program is your program. You know what you want your program to be. We have a show called Tamala, where we interview people that are deported, people that go to the back way and they're deported and they came back. And we want to interview some of them, and some of them will tell us, Gambia Darane could say, Mandama Gina, I went to the back way because of A, B, or C. So you start to go to their different places that they mentioned that they have been in Gambia. And you edit them and it becomes a very nice documentary. But you want to do that with some people and they will tell you, Yama exposed. Why is that all the time you want to bring our negativity? Why is that sometimes you want to call us back with people? Why is that you want to call us that my mother killed my father? If you go to the back way, that is your story. Nobody can take that from you. So all the time, people should be proud of what they do. But as journalists, you should be the one to help them to know that this is your work and you explain things right for them. So the other thing I want to talk about is whenever people are coming to work as journalists, you don't come empty. The Englishman say, empty bag cannot stand. So please, you should not come empty. You should not come and then you just come, what project do you have? Our project. What am I going to do? You come and ask me when we were starting journalism since 2006, 7. I remember every day, whenever I get to a taxi or I am walking to go to work, on the way, either I will see people backbiting inside the car, or I will see somebody say, hey, lady price never say. Or you see somebody will say, no, that's nice. So no. I believe that is bleaching. Somebody will say, no, you are looking very bad. And you're like, maybe my marriage is not nice. And I have topic already about marriage. And I ask people about marriage. So I expect every one of us here to know that journalism is not empty bag. Nobody comes to work and go without anything. That is how Gambian talents great people. So please, anytime you come, we have many cameras. Pausman have invested so much when it comes to cameras, when it comes to mic, nobody will say I don't have camera unless you don't understand the camera. Cameras are here, sometimes whole day nobody will use it. Because somebody will just come and want to wait for someone to tell you, go for project A or go for project B. We are young people. As young people, we should be active. As young people, we should always make sure we do it right. And thank you. I said to call you can just take up the meeting. 1 minute, let me come.
Thank you, Franco. Like she was trying to say, as a journalist, you have to be always prepared when you come to the office. It's either you have a project to do that is going to be outside, or at least there are so many things trending in the country as of now. You can have your own show and then you open lines here and people will call and you contribute. Um, I think in that way you can also learn to grow as an individual and move to a stage where you are to another stage. So I think it's important. And another thing is with regards to comforting yourself as a journalist. A lot of times, like when we go to these press conferences and then hearing, you know, ministers, government secretaries, opposition leaders, um, you ask certain questions, but you even know it's not comfortable, but it's because of your work. That is the reason why you are asking such questions. And you are asking questions not because of for your own self, but for the people out there. Because you are representing the people, not your own self. So probably you might ask a question because I can remember I asked the Minister of Health a question during the COVID time when Gambia registered 7 or 8 cases, and I was like, young people are not taking COVID seriously in Gambia. That was the time Gambia registered 5 or 6 cases, and he was like, how can you look at a minister with a suit and then say they are not serious? But I was being observant, and I see how they were when they come to the press conference and then they press conference. So I was like, what are they doing? Because they're not taking COVID seriously. And here we are today, we are registering thousands of cases now. So I think it's important, and you know your line of questioning as well. Do research like practice, like it will help you. At the end of the day, I'll be on the net. I'll just go through the internet and see what people are saying. And at least if I am doing show or I'm supposed to go out for a box book or something, at least I'll have a clue on what the real thing is about. So it's important. Yeah.
Yes, and I remember the minister called me whilst we were there. The first day that happened, I never knew. But later, the minister said to me, "You're that girl, she's very stubborn. And how can she look at the entire ministry and say, you guys are not serious?" I said to the minister, I believe the way I said to ask the question was in court was not very good because you cannot look at individuals and tell them they're not serious. But the fact is, that was her first very day, right, doing for a coverage. But she was very right that they were not serious. They were nailed. You hear that? Digger, truth is always pepper. Anybody you tell, they feel offended. But that was the hard fact. Imagine the first day you were to announce COVID-19 result. Before journalists were set and everything, you start calling me. Suma Jabar, my wife, mine is my dad. And somebody new is there. You don't know who and who is there. So all the time you have to behave yourself. And the other thing I want to talk about cameramen, please all the time dress up. Because some cameramen feel that, okay, I am behind the scenes. Nobody see me. It's only the journalists people see. So I don't need to dress up. I don't need to do anything. Sometimes, whilst you are filming, another person is also filming you. Do we know that? Huh? Other media houses, when we go to press conference, other people want to capture the amount of journalists that were there. Because when they are reporting, they say, earlier today, journalists gathered at the minister's office. So they want to show all the people. So they including their own camera people. So please, I am appealing to all of you to make sure that you know that doing things right, you're not doing it for anybody, but for your own self. All right? So the other thing I want us to talk about is the issue of timing. My worst enemy, She never respect time, but now she's my best friend. You know, time is very, very important. You don't give people time 10 o'clock and you come, let's say 10 o'clock, you tell people 10 o'clock and you are here, let's say 9:43. And imagine the person you want to interview stay all the way in Kamoko. Even if you have your personal car, you cannot fly, right? Even if you have your own, we don't have car, some of us. We have to rush and take taxi and all that. So make sure you tell people 11. Make sure by 9 o'clock you are here. 10 you are on the way. Because sometimes we all know Gambia. You might even wake up early and you don't have car. I would never say I don't miss time, but I've never have an agreement with somebody for a particular time and then I come late. And that start with your individual class. If you're not making it to your individual class, your individual time, and I think your time, nobody creates it for you. You all created your time. But some of us, we create our time and then we don't maintain the time. And the other thing is, you do that and you don't also communicate. And that's bad. That's very bad. When you say A, you make sure um, the A means A. And when you say B, the B means B. Some people will tell me, it's 10 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock, that's too much for me. 10 o'clock, I have to come to work. And I ask people that, are they serious? Are they for real? The people that are watching, most of them are in the diaspora. Some of them, they wake up as early as 6 o'clock just to go to work, or 4 o'clock at night just to go to work, or close from work and come back. So if you're going to do it in Gambia, you would never be able to do it in America or anywhere you are. So all that should be to it there, okay? So please, I am appealing to all of you. Any of us that we tell that American embassy is telling you that you should go there for them to give you visa and they tell you appointment is 9 o'clock. You all be there now. You will not tell them I stay at Parato or I stay at Budu or I stay at Tabokoto or I don't have car. Before they are 9 o'clock, 8, some of us will be there and we start to say, I got you, where are they? And all that. So why not us? And the other thing, I don't want people to be here and start competing among themselves. Competition is nice, but you can only compete with the person that you are in the same level with. I'm not saying don't compete because it's always good if you know that, let's say Ida is doing good, let's say Musa is doing good, and you want to be like that because I want to be like this particular person. But know that anytime you want to be like that particular person is also adjusting him or herself because the person do not want you to take their position. In this office, different from myself, I think Ida is the longest serving staff together with Yusuf Ajab. They have been here since we started this internship 4 years ago until now. And they have climbed the line. They have learned from one step to another. So don't just come and say, no, man, I want to be here or I want to have exactly what particular A is having or particular B. Make sure you walk your own step. You will even pass what they have. Because sometimes I discuss with Ida and Ida will be like, no, they are very lucky. When we started, we only have one office. And now we have many offices here. That individual will even sleep here. Some of us now, we even stay in the office. So before all of those things were not happening. So looking at is nanka, little by little. So among your colleagues, if you know Sisao is trying, make Sisao friend and don't be Sisao's gossip partner. And I would give you an example because us as young people, we always want to gossip. Sometimes we in the studio or in the production room or inside the what is it called? What is this office called? Ida's office. And then we start gossiping. You know Fatsama, she likes Sariba very well. That is why they even make Sariba staff. That is why they increase Sariba's allowance. Or that is why they give Sariba price. And I want to tell everybody, prices at Gambian talents is not determined by an individual. It's not. I can tell people that okay, like for instance, I discuss with Musa and Ida and say, I want this price to go to this, and Musa and I all believe that and say no. They think that this particular person deserves it better. Both Ida and Musa agree, and I didn't agree. My idea will not supersede, and we will get to this and say, these are our lists, and this is what we say. You give me this person, I believe that this will be this back. How about you have this particular plan? It doesn't say this. So it's always determined by us as institution. So if you respect fact alone, and then you are not going to respect either because Hannah or she's young or she's big, I'm not going to do that. Or Musa, don't respect Musa because Musa be the or Musa, anything you do is okay. Maybe to you, he's not talking. But he's very honest. When he asks people, Mr. You ask questions. We all know that. He asks questions and he asks very genuine questions. If I tell him yesterday that I don't like Caesar, many people tell me one thing that you don't like Caesar. But yesterday you told us that Caesar is the best in that in the office. How come today Caesar is the bad in that? Do you understand? And just for you feeling one doesn't mean that you will determine that for the rest of your life. Some of you have scored, like I said, 6 hours, always 6 hours at something. Sometimes she goes to the studio to do her program and she do it very well and the program is good and she start giving it. I said, before you do the program, you give me the list. But the next minute, I would go and I would tell Mr. You never been sister was very good at what she does. Despite the problem that we have. So let us not hold problems against individual as an office. And I always say this, I have been working with Mr. Group now getting to 8 years. There is not a day that we keep malice. Yes, it's still we quarrel all the time, me and him. Every day we quarrel. Yes. But at the end of the day, the quarrel or the fight is all geared towards something positive because we all want one thing, one common thing. So as an office, stop keeping malice. If your friend do something that is not good, or you just come and our champ say, "Big show is bad." That's our. What do you think my show is bad? Don't underestimate anybody. Don't think that this particular person is not seeing something. If she say your show is bad, ask her. Why do you think your show is bad? There are little things. Like I did it today, and Isaac Poli was having a show, and they were inside the studio. And Chalabi, yeah, they put their one rapper. They didn't know. And it was not on their attention. It didn't tell their attention. But after watching that, I see that. And I told them, this is bad. You should not allow that. The next time, did they do it on their show? They will never do it. So all the time, people should pay attention in whatever they're doing. And I'm appealing to all of you to make sure that you know that people that criticize you, they're not criticizing you back. For me, I always say this, and I said it, and I said it, and I said it. I say criticism is what made me where I am today. Before, whenever I am speaking on public or whatsoever, some people will be like, no, kill for follow. Kill me away. And it's true. They're not just criticizing me. It's true. I am follow. Naturally, I am one follow. It might hurt because one is trying, but sometimes consider the people that are telling you, they're follow or they're open or they're nyaw or they're born or they're chilling. Consider that. And anytime you are going, you make sure that you know that, okay, this particular person is telling me this one is foul or this one is bad. Let me make sure, let me not do that next time. Then that is when you will improve. And some of us that sit here and think that we are doing more than the next person, I tell you, some people are in this office. They sacrifice so much. And do we all know we work 24 hours? We work 24 hours as an institution. Some people come here at night. And whole night they are working. Some people come here at night. Whilst people are working, they're sleeping. And I always tell people, let us take the best advantage from people that know. For me, all the time, I say this. I am Ida's boss. But there are certain things that Ida know more than me. I remember last week, not last week, this week, I called her because I was writing words in the chat. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to have error. I call her, I'm going to please give me the man. 17, if I'm TH, if I'm TEEN. And Mune, you don't know some, you don't know nothing. I said, no, I know it. I know it's TEEN. But I just want to confirm. And we start laughing. And she was like, okay. So imagine if I just have the belief that, okay, it's TEEN. And maybe the person go to the bank and then went to the bank and they said to him or her that your check amount is wrong or the way they spell it is bad. I'm not going to disturb the person and the person has to come back to the office. So do not be overconfident. Do not be overconfident. Input determines output. So please, I am appealing. We are families, and as families, let us make sure we work hard. This person, Jamba, he's no more in the office. You know, in Gambia, sometimes when people are not in a place, they start to talk bad about it in the future. And Gambian talents didn't do that. Jamba, as a young person working in this office, came as an intern. Even the time he was leaving this office, he was not a staff, he was an intern. When we started doing this prize, Ida, Musa almost get all the prizes. And when I used to make these prizes, I do it myself, not with them. Because some of the prizes, they have to get it. So sometimes I will sit with them and I ask them, this prize, what do you do? And they will give me names. And I will be like, yeah, and Sandra, you don't think you can get this prize? And they will be like, yeah, but I cannot say me. I said, why is it that you cannot say me? Sometimes it's good to be selfish. If you know that you are a good writer, say I am a good writer. But if you know also you are not a good writer, please don't come to where the this writer are. We have to what the salary is. And for the time want to say I'm a good writer, know that you are nowhere. So please make sure you do it right. Anything you do, you're not doing it for anybody, you're doing it for yourself. So as journalists and Gambian talents, competition is good, but positive competition. If you look at me and my three colleagues, Aida, Musa, and myself, there is no day that Mr. Yu will come and bring us together and say this or that. If I don't do anything, you know me, I will just say, I know what you do is not good and I don't like it, please don't do it. And if you do also good, I will tell you. And the same thing applies. And before she do anything, she will call me just to confirm. And now I don't go to certain places where she is. Some of you that are here with people, the likes of Ida Musa, please make best use of them. Don't just sit with them and then just start the chat. What they know, they already know it here. But if you just sit and say, no boy, we never go with ah, okay, they must assist tip. Some brother, they already know what they know. And one like Musa, Musa said that in front of myself and Ida. And said, among everybody in this office, it's only Musa I give credit. Musa finished it and has a pending project. You don't need to tell Musa, go back to your project. He will go back to that. Then that means Fatu is not doing that. Should I look at Musa as my enemy and Musa more than the It's true, Musa is doing that. And I should try and I learn from what Musa is saying. Alright. So please don't sit and gossip. And I was giving you an example of gossip. I have a colleague, and I'm not going to mention the place that the person works, that I work in this country. But if I mention the person, will know. They used to be together. And all the time, they always backbite the boss. And you know what the boss did? The boss just set up the computer, the same computer that they were using, they don't know. And the boss recorded them. When the boss left. Immediately the boss left, they are talking. And the boss came back and played the record and leave it open. All of them, everybody started looking at each other. And when the boss started, all of them said, keep on it, this boss. He don't buy it. He can get it. But that day, they all started saying every bad thing about that boss. And I told the boss, what did you do? Do you play it? And the boss said, no, you don't need to do all of those things. And I said to the boss, if it is me, I will play it for them and I will tell them that you don't have to do that. But Mr. Duke would always tell me that you need to defend them. A leader, you don't have to pay back. As a leader, you have to be soft. Anybody can come and then put everything on your head. And you have to accept it and know that they are different individuals. So I am appealing to all of you. Be honest to everybody. And honesty is what is individual. If you see certain people in this office until this minute they feel here, it's because of that. I have been here for 4 years. Musa, 3 years. I go out, I travel, I leave the entire office with all of them. With money and everything, and nothing get missing. So I am appealing to each and every one of you. If you steal, stop. If you take people's things, stop. You never know what you are taking, who owns it, and what that particular person will do to you. So it doesn't make sense. We are individual young people. And the other thing is make best use of the office. This internship should have been government work. We sit here, cash power. If Mr. Juve don't send it, we will not have it. Cheers, Mr. Juve. I said to Koli when she's writing her news, she will tell me paper there. You give them paper. Food. We cook in this office because we don't have somebody to go and cook for us. People like me, I cook all the time. And my partner and colleague. I don't forget. All right. So sometimes let us make sure we know that the office does not have anything. The office is a learning center for people to learn. And after they know so many things, they can go if the office cannot employ you. You can go. Where is Ramatullah Gege in Europe? She's the one now leading Paradise TV. She do the Jatai show, she do the Good Morning show. Why did Ramatullah start it here? And when Ramatullah is talking, everybody listens because Ramatullah is not afraid of anything that she wants to say. That is how journalism is always. So learn. But if you think you know, honestly, some people, when they leave this place and they go somewhere else, I'm not saying they will employ them there, but they will never give them any position. Because if you are confident and you think that only taking camera and put it on the other way is editing, know that you are not doing anything. My interview with Baba Jam, Musa used three cameras. Three cameras. Sometimes you even see the camera where Musa is editing, and then you see the other camera at the back. You see us from the back. I remember somebody asked me, how was Musa able to do that? And Mr. Juf told Musa that this is your best camera that he did. So every day is a learning moment. Journalists and videographers work together. When somebody is editing your show, sit next to the person. And on that note, I want to comment Isa Tukoli. She's one somebody, and also Kadi Ture, that their shows all the time, whoever aired it or anywhere, they will even write it on the group. Instead of even texting you personally, it's between you and them, and then you say, this one. She will write it on the group, whoever is in the office, please edit my, and I can air my program. But some of us, we do shows until this minute, you don't see the show. Because it's time to go home, 4 o'clock, bam, you are gone. So Father Sabo should stay in the office and copy your project and save it for you and write it down for you. It's your show. Write it down. That is what builds you. And some of you I see also coming and doing that. Do that. Your vox pop, please, especially the old ones, now you're getting tired of vox pop. Some of you are so confident, super confident that you think that okay, now I should not do vox pop or whatsoever. Do it. Ida Kevin's best video was her vox pop that she had 80 something thousand views on YouTube. About the Diamond's mom died and then we were asking if the body should come or should not come. Those little things go a long way. But some of us, we sit, we want family to think for us. Father have 188 projects to do. Now, so many people don't even see me on air. Not because I don't want to come on air, but because I have so many trainings to do with some of you. Now, I don't do some of the things. You see the managers, most of them are inside doing what I was supposed to do. Because I trained them. So some of you also open up. Open your eyes so that we can see you. But if you want to be shy, I said it. This is a family. I understand some people are shy. Like Musa is very shy. But Musa, thank you for him. I said, Musa send me voice message. I said, Musa text me. What do you do today? This you should not do it. What do you do tomorrow? Or today, let us do this. Or what do you think? Just like yesterday, we were discussing. And he was like, but Father, this idea is not good. I said, no, my idea is good. And I asked him, why do you think we should do this? He said, no, let us do it this way. And after we all agree. But if you think that, okay, others are the boss, and you don't also want to talk, people will not know what you can. So some of us are also here. We are thinking that we are here for maybe 1 year. It's about our internship is now completed. We are not staffed. Ask yourself a question. Why am I not staffed? Until this minute, why I am not in the same position like the others? At Gambian Talent, I said mistakes every day. He is looking for ways and means just to get more funding for us. I personally, I have knocked on all government institutions. I have knocked on all private institutions in Gambia, from the UN, from the various ministries. I met almost most of them for them to help in this project. But until this minute, we have not seen people coming up. But that doesn't mean we have to stop. But you people should make the internship successful. So some of us that come and then we are having breakfast, we talk for like more than 10 minutes, like 20 minutes you are there having breakfast, you eat and then you start chatting, talk. That will not help you. We have access to internet, thanks to unique solutions. We have access to internet. In this office, all the computers, only for two of them that were given to us by, what is his name? The Balder family in the US. They give us two computers and unique solution, one computer. All the other computers, they are all sent by Mr. Juice or bought by Mr. Juice here in Gambia. Some of us, we have family members that can donate us with computers or hard drive or memory card, but we don't have it. Young people in Gambia, they don't have job. Young people in Gambia, some of us before when we went to get job, we go to places, they say, "Come here, or let me sleep with you." It's not easy to say, but that is the case. So if you are here and you didn't sleep with nobody, if you are here and then you didn't know anybody, take best use of the internship. Some of us, or almost everybody here, I have never seen you or I have never met you. Some of you, I've never met you, I've never seen you. But you came, you went through the process. And the interviews is not even done by myself. It's done by either Isaac Jala or Babukat or Isaac Kuli. And sometimes Mr. D. You come, we ask you all the questions. We don't ask for a paper. We don't ask you if you have a degree or you have a bachelor's or you have anything. Just come and we will train you. And the other thing is, let people not disturb you or distract you when you cannot speak English and you want to concentrate on journalism, English all the time. No, journalism is not English. Man, personally, my wallet is better than my English. And my grade 12, I have very good grades when it comes to English. But for some of us, we only learn for exams or we only study for exams. But if I have to ask any minister or any permanent secretary, I prefer, unless I don't have choice, I prefer interviewing in Wolof. So be comfortable with your language that you know. But if you know your English is as bad as someone's English and you want to remain the same, we would not want to hear that. So I think it's almost 52. So we just want to wrap up, but I want to just give few of you a chance to just tell us what you have learned. So let's just start from you quickly.
My name is Sandra. I have learned that we have to be professional and ready to share what we are doing. My name is Michael, and I've learned that we have to be consistent and transactions. My name is I learned that we cannot compete within ourselves. My name is Emmanuel, and I'm not I am educated and I have learned that you should be kind and you should think you don't have time. In fact, you don't do it. You should respect time as a Gambian and especially if you are in the mental state. Because I have learned that as a journalist, I've learned that as a journalist, sorry, I came here. But I have learned that from someone management, they are reaching out to the authorities and institutions like UN to gather funds for this project. But still, appealing to the Gambian government to come out and help out this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amadou. Not only government, even individuals, especially the people watching and telling us we're doing a great job. I want them also to send us computers. We don't mind any type of computers, anyone. Let's just have computers or laptop or hard drive or send us money and then we buy it. Even if you send us 500 a month, we would appreciate it because it can buy us cash flow. I think this one alone will cost 4,000 for cash flow. I'm even crying. Now you have to hear this one. Let
Yeah,
me quick.
good morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. I am Mariam Sisera. As Fatama said, I have learned that as a journalist, you have to be active, you should not be lazy, and you should love what you are doing. Because to my own belief is that when you have passion for something, even when you are working on this every day, you don't feel the tiredness or you don't feel exhausted about the thing. So I believe that anything that you are doing should be something that you love. It will be a passion to you and not something that you have been forced into or is just being directed by someone or ordered by someone like you should do this. And I'm appealing to all parents also to leave their children to do what they love to do. If you force someone to do something that the person did not love, actually the person will not be good on that. So just leave your kids to do whatsoever they want and see whether they will excel or not.
Time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Abdul. I have learned that as journalists, you need to be well prepared and always do not be asking the question.
Absolutely. I have learned that journalists should know what to do to understand
Community development, I have learned that a journalist or a videographer can um, yeah, so I'm still passing the
Amazing. I have learned that
Good morning, everyone. My name is my name is Musada Habani. I have learned that in this position, you have to be very careful. You avoid malice between, ourselves. We have to be very careful. We avoid such kind of things because we are not careful as well. If we want to continue management between us, means we are not really the right things of this institution. So we have to be very careful about that. Yeah, let us not be managed.
Yani, yani. Because go on.
our
I don't go.
go to sleep.
My name is Thank I'm friend that My name is Shelly. I am one that is very important, whatever you are doing, to try and answer.
And you're always coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen. Assalamualaikum. My name is Modi Almani. And I have learned that in whatever you are doing, you have to be well prepared and decide early. Thank you.
Thank you. And SL
And you?
we are not part of it.
Uh, Thank you. Yes, today's meeting
My one.
was very interesting and so many things they are discussed, but I'll just emphasize on the issue of consistency with our shares. We all do shares, we all do news, we all have things to do, so it's important like we keep updating our shares so that they can be consistent and then follow the benefit of those that are watching us all the time. That's important. Who's here? Yeah, you
Hello?
Madam, good morning.
How is it?
Oh,
Fine, thank you. So any other thing? If you guys have any other thing? Before our guests will arrive, we will soon have a guest. Any other thing? Okay. So thank you guys for coming and yes, our friends, you have something to say?
About the veterans day.
okay, let me give you that.
Yes, I think what Alasan just mentioned is important. Because at the end of the day, people come in the morning to go out for visits. So those that are normally here in the afternoon, and then if you use any of the camera charges, you have to at least when you are done using the cameras, please charge the battery. Because at the end of the day, you go to coverage and then go and battery boy execute the task. So it's one of the key most important things. You cannot just pay fare all the way to the venue that you are going. Therefore, I'm a child. It's like going there now with an empty hand. And journalism is all about going out there, bringing out stories. So I think what's important. This is more like a journalist and the videographer working together as a team. Consider a small copy memory card. We just take the camera charger and then let them charge camera. But then don't let them different a class or so because charger not automatically. Thank you.
Thank you. So everybody have spoken. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending today's meeting. So let's not forget, and let me not be reminding you that the meeting is Wednesday. So stay tuned, viewers. Inshallah, in the next, let's say, 30 minutes or 35, the Minister of Youth and Sports will be visiting Gambia Talents Promotion, Gambia Talents TV. We believe that he is our minister because, as you can see, everyone here is not above 35, I believe. And we are all young people. We live in Hallelujah. So the minister will come here and he will discuss with us a very important topic. And we already sent him a topic that he will be discussing with us. So stay tuned. I will not tell you what the topic is until he comes and I will introduce it. So stay tuned with Gambian Talents TV and learn from what we're doing. So amee any sister boo xam ne mu ngi si diaspora bi or brother boo xam ne mu ngi currently si biir Gambia te nekk di def anything encourage ko bu mu toog kër nañu Gambian Talents TV and get empowered. So we are the people's
Power.
we are the people's power. Input determines output. No idea? Okay, so those are our codes. So thank you, everyone. Bye bye. So let's wait for the minister. Thank you.
If you want to receive monies from UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world, Supersonic's money transfer has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonic's money transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.